Do you sometimes feel like, why is card making so hard? I thought this was supposed to be fun. Hi, I'm Jess from jess-crafts.ck.page, and I'm here to help you make the most of your crafty supplies and time. So let's take a look. Today I want to talk about 6 mindset shifts that could make your card making more fun and change the way that you craft. And I think some of these are going to be things that have come through your head in the past and things that I've touched on in past videos. But I think keeping ourselves in a mindset of crafting is fun and enjoyable, and how we achieve that is important for us to keep crafting and really use all those beautiful supplies that we have collected. So, number 1, I would say that this is, and to me this is one of the most important things, because it is easy to not do this, but is to focus on what you love. And you've heard it before. We talked about it before here on my channel. But if you love pattern paper, like I do, that's great. Use pattern paper. You don't have to have the latest inks. You don't have to have layering stamps. They're not really for me. Foiling's not really a thing I like. I haven't done letterpress, interactive dies. I have bought them and watched them languish. That's why I didn't get a hot foiling machine. Because another thing where it's just, I was like, I don't know if I see myself making those kind of complicated cards. And if you love any of that stuff, great. This is not me going, hot foiling's bad. No way, of course. But just that, don't feel like you have to do something because you're seeing others do it. If you want to experiment, great. Especially if you can experiment in a a less time and money commitment kind of way. Like there's foiling out there that's not hot foiling that requires the machine. You can just do it with adhesive and that kind of stuff, just to see if it's something you would be interested in. It took me a while, and some people might disagree. I don't know, but you don't need to make cards for any particular occasion. I felt like if I was a card maker, if I enjoyed making cards, then I needed to send a birthday card to everyone I knew. I needed to hand make birthday cards for everyone. And then the temptation on top of that was then to make it special to that person. So, they like pink. They like pirates. They like frogs, whatever it is. I felt like I had to make a card for each person's birthday and then make it special to them. But I don't actually enjoy that. That is stressful to me. That I like to just make what I want. I like to use the products that I want. And again, you enjoy making birthday cards, you enjoy making specialized cards. I do sometimes. Please keep doing it. But don't feel like you have to. Don't buy into that idea that just because you bought all this card making stuff, you owe somebody any specific card. It doesn't have to be perfect. I think this one's a hard one for a lot of us, because there are a lot of tools out there to try to help us be better at it. So my 2 examples are some stamping. That is not as crisp of a stamping as I would like. It's kind of faded at the bottom, a little hard to read. It's a bummer. I didn't use my MISTI. My MISTI would be so much easier to make it perfect. But I'm okay with it. You can read that sentiment. The person who's going to receive this card isn't going to even probably notice or think, they should have really fixed that. Or the A here isn't stamped perfectly. It's kind of hard to see. Again, I think this one I even did stamp on a MISTI. But we get kind of here's all these tools to make things easier. And that's great. I love my MISTI. I'm not giving it up. Or any kind of stamp positioner, because it does help to make things a little bit better. But just because I get outside the lines does not mean I have to throw an image away. And yes, you can take the Copic 0 marker or whatever marker and kind of push them back in. We get all those tips. You can cover it up, all that kind of stuff. And I encourage you to think about those tips and how you can kind of cover up mistakes if that feels good to you. But also feel free to just own them. That it is okay that a handmade thing looks like it was handmade. This is the one I'm going to keep coming back to because this is my thing. That it has to be complicated. That it has to have some kind of level of technique or whatever to be real card making. And I know some of you thought I was kind of silly when I said this, but I have heard people say pattern paper is cheating. Pre-made embellishments are cheating. The only way for a card to be valid is if you've made, so I've made the pattern back there. myself with the stamps. I've colored them, but no, like, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to make your embellishments. You don't have to color stamps. None of it. Like, you can use sketches, you can use designs, you can take a card that one of your favorite crafters made and try to recreate it to give to a friend. Just don't take credit for it. Like, don't pretend like it was your original idea, of course, but that's fine. There's no reason that you can't do any of that. So, like, I know some people don't really love my paper busting template. Good, fine. Please do what you want. Like, it's totally great. But like, they're just a jumping off point. I say, cut the paper this way, assemble it here, but then you get to make all kinds of fun decisions. Like, you can pick the pattern paper and the colors and the embellishments you want. You can use so many of the items that you have in your craft room, but sketches, templates, any of these things, they're just a jumping off point, and we don't have to feel guilty that any of it's cheating. Cover plate dies, pattern paper, whatever. Whoever had this idea that there's some kind of crafting police coming after us, no way. And my paper busting templates, for those of you who haven't, seen them before, as I said, they take pattern paper, like 6x6 paper, they make an A2 size card, they make all kinds of different sizes of papers and sizes of cards. So if you want to check them out, there will be a link in the video description. They're actually all free. You can get hundreds, I think, at this point, or over 100 at this point, for free at jess-crafts.ck.page, or you can purchase them in sets if you prefer. So if, like, say you just wanted to have a set of 10 and just print it off really quickly without having to, like, enter your email address or anything like that, they are available for purchase, and so are those covers. But I do have a paper bust, so if you ever want to get into making your own binder, I do have a free paper busting template cover for you that will be linked in the video description. You need to come up with organization and systems that work for you. You can get all kinds of ideas, and I encourage you. I like to watch craft room tours. I like to see how other people are arranging their things to see if I would also like that, and I'll try them out sometimes. But then there's other things that I know just work for me. I really like to be able to flip through things. So, like, these are all the jokes that I put inside cards before I donate them. And there's always donation and other links to the jokes in my video description. But I just like to be able to go through them quickly. Other people, but then I take this and I put it in a drawer where you can't see it. So I have all this, like, really accessible storage. Like, you can flip through a ton of my storage. You saw my binder just now. My card making, or my paper template binder. I put my stencils in a binder so they're really easy to flip through and I can find what I want. But then a lot of this stuff gets stored away or put back on shelves really neatly. Like, I make all my binders are black, because then it looks a little bit more clean on my shelf. I personally really like baskets as opposed to plastic bins. I don't like to have a lot of plastic in my craft room. Other people do. Again, it's all about whatever suits you. And so to think about the systems that work for you, and if you find that, like, you're not putting stuff away, maybe it's just because that system that works really, really well for someone else is just not for you, and you don't have to feel bad about that. And as soon as you find that system that works for you, you're going to be much happier and craft more, and that's all we ever want. Final mindset change that could help you bring some joy back to crafting, relax a little bit, is that cards are meant to be shared, but that doesn't have to be hard. I think that we kind of fall into that trap, and I discussed this when I talked about needing cards for a particular occasion. You don't need to send birthday cards. You should send your cards. Like, we absolutely should get them out the door. That is a big thing for me. I think that if you watch my channel for a while, you kind of know that. I give you a lot of resources. Like I said, these jokes, they are meant to go, they were kind of designed specifically for donating your cards. So, like, if you've made a bunch of superhero cards, you could print these out, you could put them in those cards, because some organizations do ask you to, like, have a message inside your card. So I want to make that easy. I've also made jokes in other languages, jokes for other holidays, etc., with that in mind. And these jokes are totally free on jess-crafts.com. You don't even have to enter an email address. You just open them up, print them right out, because I feel so strongly that cards are meant to be sent, but in a way that is fun and relaxing. So I also share all these places you can donate cards. Some places you don't even need to write inside of them. So you make the cards that you like, and then, you know, maybe you print off some jokes and you just send them to friends like that. Like I have Halloween jokes, and, you know, people don't usually give Halloween cards. But that's okay. Like there's no rule that says you can't, for one. And also, like maybe that's the holiday you really enjoy. If you do want to come up with a way of like tracking more, you know, the traditional holidays or that kind of thing, I do have this as a printable, free printable, linked in the video description, Reasons to Celebrate, and you can write down all the occasions you have for a particular year. And then I have a like get cards sent bundle that you could also work with, where like you can have like an address list to have printed out to keep with your like in a little mailing case. And I will talk about other ways. I'm going to have a whole video about how to get cards out of your craft room. So look forward to that. People to celebrate, so you could write down their birthday or other important dates. If you like having like a gamifying things, like if you want to track it, I have these card trackers. There's like in different fun shapes, and you color one every time you send a card if that motivates you, because again, it's about having fun and cards are meant to be shared. So this one you could track sending 100 cards, color them all in, sending a certain amount of cards per month, like that. So those are available in my Etsy shop to kind of make card making more fun, but also all these jokes for free, because we all got into card making because we wanted a fun, relaxing hobby. Maybe a few of us were told that it would be cheaper. We all discovered that wasn't true about 30 seconds into this hobby probably. But hopefully this has been like a good reset to your thinking, and kind of check if you have gotten into any like bad headspace or whatever around it, because I really want card making to be joyful. I want you to feel like you can, even if you don't have many supplies, the latest supplies, a lot of time, money, etc. I have tried to come up with all kinds of ways to make it easier, and that is my goal on this channel, and I'll continue to do that for you. If you found this video helpful, here's another video where you can find more ideas for enjoying your crafty time and supplies. Let me know that you like this video by sharing with your crafty community. Subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss the next template or tutorial, and check the video description for all the resource links mentioned. See you in the next video.